He was on stage, singing. His wife was in the audience, watching him perform. The band around him, 5 close friends he had known for years, were playing the same song they had played 100 times before. It was December 22nd, 2018, a Saturday night, a beach resort in Indonesia, the Christmas holiday week. The crowd was dancing, the lights were warm. There was no earthquake, no siren, no warning. 27 minutes earlier, something had happened in the ocean, about 50 kilometers away, that nobody on that beach knew about. A mountain had fallen, silently, underwater. And as the band played their song, a wall of water was racing across the Sunda Strait toward them. It was 13 meters tall, faster than a car, completely invisible in the night. When it hit, it came from behind the stage. In a few seconds, his bassist was gone, his guitarist was gone, his drummer was gone, his road manager was gone, a crew member was gone, his wife was gone. He was the only one left alive. By the next morning, 437 people across the coast of Indonesia had been killed. None of them had felt the earth shake. None of them had heard a warning. Most of them never even saw it coming. This is the story of the wave that came without an earthquake, the killer that no warning system could detect, and the mountain that, for 90 years, had been quietly walking toward this moment. Today, you'll understand 3 things. First, how a mountain can kill thousands of people without ever causing an earthquake, and why every tsunami warning system in the world was, in 2018, completely blind to this kind of event. Second, the chilling fact that scientists had warned about this exact disaster 6 years before it happened. The paper was published, the warning was filed, and then it was forgotten. And third, the 27 minutes between the mountain's fall and the wave's arrival on the coast. The 27 minutes when something invisible was already moving toward thousands of sleeping families, and nobody knew. This isn't just the story of a tsunami, it's the story of a mountain that was born to die, and a system designed to protect us that simply couldn't see the killer coming. The Sunda Strait sits between 2 of Indonesia's largest islands, Java and Sumatra. It is one of the busiest, most beautiful stretches of water in the country, crowded with fishing boats, tourist resorts on both shores. The water is warm, the beaches are full. In the middle of this strait, sitting alone in the open sea, is a small volcanic island called Anak Krakatau. The name means Child of Krakatau. It was born in 1927, slowly rising from the underwater crater of an older volcano that had destroyed itself in one of the most violent eruptions in human history, the famous 1883 Krakatoa eruption that killed over 36,000 people. For 90 years, the child grew, quietly, aggressively, adding about 5 meters of height every year. By December 2018, it had reached 338 meters tall, a young, restless volcano sitting on the unstable ruins of its own dead parent. That December weekend, the beaches of the Sunda Strait were full. Indonesian families on Christmas vacation, tourists, a company event at a resort called Tanjung Lesung, a live concert organized by Indonesia's national power utility, with employees and their families enjoying a beachside performance from a popular Indonesian rock band called 17. What nobody on those beaches understood, what nobody had been told, was that throughout that very afternoon, the volcano in the middle of the strait had been erupting. Not once, not twice, 423 times. Between noon and 6 in the evening, Anak Krakatau erupted approximately once every 51 seconds, for 6 straight hours. But it was so far out at sea and so common that no one on the beaches even noticed. To understand what was about to happen, you have to understand a strange truth about tsunamis. Almost every tsunami warning system in the world is built around one assumption, that big waves come from earthquakes. This is usually true. When a large earthquake happens under the ocean, the seabed suddenly lifts up or drops down. That movement pushes the water above it, and a tsunami is born. Seismographs detect the earthquake within seconds. Warning sirens activate. People are told to run. But there is a second, much rarer kind of tsunami, one that almost no warning system in the world is designed to detect. It happens when a mountain, instead of an earthquake, moves the water. When the side of a volcano collapses into the sea, it pushes the water in exactly the same way an earthquake would. The result is a tsunami. But because it isn't caused by an earthquake, there is no seismic signal. The seismographs detect nothing. The sirens stay silent. The system is blind. Scientists call these atypical tsunamis, and the volcano in the middle of the Sunda Strait, Anak Krakatau, was, that night, about to become the deadliest example of one in modern history. There is one more haunting detail. In 2012, 6 years before the disaster, an international team of researchers had published a scientific paper warning that Anak Krakatau's southwestern flank was steepening, growing unstable, and likely to collapse into the sea, generating exactly this kind of tsunami. The warning was published, filed, studied, and then, like so many warnings before it, it was forgotten. 6 years later, it came true. At 9:03 on the evening of December 22, 2018, Anak Krakatau erupted again, louder than any of the 422 eruptions before it. It was, on the surface, just another eruption, but beneath the noise, something else was happening. The southwestern side of the volcano, 64 hectares of solid rock and old lava, was breaking away. Between 200 and 400 million cubic meters of mountain, a piece big enough to bury a small city. In a matter of seconds, this enormous mass of rock slid down the underwater slope of the volcano and into the deep trough of the Sunda Strait. The volcano lost 2/3 of its height almost instantly, 338 meters tall before the collapse, 110 meters tall after. But there was no large earthquake. The constant eruptions had hidden the seismic signature of the falling mountain. The systems designed to detect a tsunami detected nothing, and the wave was already moving. Near the volcano, in the open sea, the wall of water generated by the collapse was over 80 meters tall, 260 feet, higher than a 25-story building. By the time it traveled the 50 kilometers to the coastlines of Java and Sumatra, it had spread out, lost some of its height, but kept its destructive power. It hit the beaches at heights of up to 13 meters, the size of a 4-story building. It took the wave only 24 to 27 minutes to reach the shore. For those 24 minutes, the wave traveled in complete silence. No alarm, no siren, no warning of any kind. Below, on the coasts of Banten and Lampung, life went on completely normally. Children played in hotel pools. Families walked along the sand. At Tanjung Lesung, the band 17 prepared for the next song of their set. The crowd was dancing. The stage faced inland, away from the ocean, toward the cheering audience. None of them could see what was coming. Indonesia's Tsunami Warning Agency, BMKG, had registered nothing on its seismographs. When the first sea level disturbances were finally detected, officials initially identified them as a normal high tide caused by the full moon. It would take official Indonesia far too long to understand that what they were watching was not the moon. It was a wave. At 21:30 local time, 9:30 p.m., the wave reached the coast. At Tanjung Lesung Beach Resort, the band 17 was performing on a temporary stage set up under a tent. Behind the stage was the ocean, dark and unseen. In front of the stage was the audience, singing, dancing, recording videos on their phones. When the wave hit, it came from behind, through the back of the tent, through the back of the stage. The video footage that survived shows the band playing one moment, and the next, the entire stage tearing forward into the audience like the inside of a collapsing house. 5 members of 17 and their crew were killed that night. Bassist Muhammad Awal Purbani, known as Bani, guitarist Herman Sikumbang, drummer Vishnu Andi Darmawan, road manager Oki Vijaya, crew member Rukmana Rustam, the band's lead singer Rifian Fajarsha, known to fans as Ifan, somehow survived. His wife, the actress and television presenter Dilan Sahara, did not. Her body was found 2 days later. 2 days after the disaster, Ifan recorded a quiet message on his Instagram account, asking the world to pray for his missing wife. The video would be watched by millions. Up and down the coast, the same scene was repeating itself. Tourist resorts, fishing villages, sleeping families. In total, the wave killed at least 437 people. It injured over 14,000. It destroyed more than 2,700 houses and over 500 ships. It displaced tens of thousands. It struck without earthquake, without warning, in the dark, on a holiday weekend. The investigation took months. Scientists confirmed that the disaster had been caused by exactly what researchers had warned about in 2012, a flank collapse of the southwestern face of Anak Krakatau. The volcano had been slowly migrating toward the edge of an underwater trough for decades. Its own weight on a foundation of unstable old volcanic deposits had finally given way. In the years after the disaster, Indonesia, in partnership with international scientists, launched a project called Tsunami_risk, designed to monitor the kinds of signals that the old system had missed. New sensors, satellite radar that watches volcanoes for tiny shifts in their shape, acoustic detectors that listen for the low-frequency scratching sound of rock sliding under the sea. But the same kind of disaster could happen again at any coastal volcano in the world. Cumbre Vieja in the Canary Islands, Stromboli in Italy, several volcanoes in the Caribbean, each one capable of doing exactly what Anak Krakatau did, each one mostly invisible to traditional tsunami warning systems. And the Child of Krakatau itself? It is still alive. Inside the scar left by the 2018 collapse, a brand new cinder cone is now growing, built from the same magma that destroyed the old one. Quietly, patiently, 5 meters taller every year, just like before. The story of Anak Krakatau teaches us something the world does not like to admit. Not every killer announces itself. Not every disaster begins with a roar. Some begin with a falling mountain that no one is watching. Some begin with a wave that no instrument can detect. Some begin in the dark, while a band plays a song and an audience sings along, and no one, for 27 full minutes, has any idea that the sea is already on its way. The earth does not need to shake to take everything from you. Sometimes it just leans. If you want to see the next story, the next silent killer hiding in plain sight, subscribe, because the truth is closer to your shore than you think.